We pick up with page 277, round to line 218, again on page 277. We'd scarcely put the island astern when suddenly I saw smoke and heavy breakers, heard their booming thunder. The men were terrified. Oar blades flew from their grip, clattering down to splash in the vessel's wash. She lay there, dead in the water, no hands to tug the blades that drove her on. But I strode down to the decks to rouse my crewmen, halting beside each one with a bracing, winning word. Friends, we're hardly strangers at meeting danger, and this danger is no worse than what we faced when Cyclops pinned us up in his vaulted cave with crushing force. But even from there, my courage, my presence of mind and tactics saved us all, and we will live to remember this some day. I have no doubt. Up now, follow my orders, all of us work as one. You men at the thwarts, lay on with your oars and strike the heaving swells, trusting that Zeus will pull us through these straits alive. You, helmsman, here's your order. Burn it in your mind. The steering oar of our rolling ship is in your hands. Keep her clear of that smoke and surging breakers. Head for those crags, or she'll catch you off guard. She'll yaw over there, and you'll plunge us to all in ruin. So I shouted. They snapped to each command, no mention of Scylla. How to fight that nightmare? For fear the men would panic, desert their oars, and huddle down and stow themselves away. But now I cleared my mind of Circe's orders, cramping my style, urging me not to arm at all. I donned my heroic armor, seized long spears in both my hands, and marched out on the half-deck, forward, hoping from there to catch the first glimpse of Scylla, ghoul of the cliffs, swooping to kill my men. But nowhere could I make her out, and my eyes ached, scanning that mist-bound rock face up, top to bottom. Now, wailing in fear, we rowed up on those straits, Scylla to starboard, dreaded Charybdis off to port, her horrible whirlpool gulping the sea surge down, down, but when she spewed it up like a cauldron over raging fire, all her churning depths would seethe and heave, exploding spray showering down to splatter the peaks of both crags at once. But when she swallowed the sea surge down her gaping maw, the whole abyss lay bare and the rocks around her roared. Terrible, deafening, bedrocks showed down deep, boiling, black with sand, and ashen terror gripped the men. But now, fearing death, all eyes fixed on Charybdis. Now Scylla snatched 6 men from our hollow ship, the toughest, strongest lads I had, and glancing backward over the decks, searching for my crew, I could see their heads and feet already hoisted, flailing, higher over my head. Look, wailing down at me, comrades riven in agony, shrieking out my name for one last time, just as an angler poised on a jutting rock flings his treacherous bait in the offshore swell, whips his long rod, hook sheathed in an oxhorn lure, and whisks up the little fish he flips on the beach break, writhing, gasping out their lives. So now they writhed, gasping, as Scylla swung them up her cliff, and there, at her cavern's mouth, she bolted them down raw, screaming out, flinging their arms toward me, lost in that mortal struggle. Of all the pitiful things I had to witness, suffering, searching out the pathways of sea, this wrenched my heart the most. But now, at last, putting the rocks, Scylla, and dread Charybdis far astern, we quickly reached the good green island of the sun god Helios. Lord Hyperion keeps his fine cattle broad in the brow, and flocks of purebred sheep. Still aboard my black ship in the open sea, I could hear the lowing cattle driven home, the bleating sheep, and I was struck once more by the words of the blind Theban prophet Tiresias, and Aeaean Circe too. Time and again they told me to shun this island of the sun, the joy of man. So I warned my shipmates gravely, sick at heart. Listen to me, my comrades, brothers in hardship. Let me tell you the dire prophecies of Tiresias and Aeaean Circe too. Time and again they told me to shun this island of the sun, the joy of man. Here, they warned, the worst disaster awaits us. Row straight past these shores, race our black ship on. We're going to pause here and answer another question.